Anxiety, something people don't really understand. Let's talk about it. Hello every brony and non-brony alike, my name is Peggy Gamer, the Pegasus Griffin Tail, and welcome to another video. I'm here with a guest. Say hello.
Hey yo, it's Nate. What's up, my dudes?
Ready to talk about anxiety?
Heck yeah, let's do this.
Glad to hear it. Now, in case no one really knows what anxiety is, it's basically, from my understanding, is an intense level of fight or flight. But you're more, well, kind of stuck in the middle. Well, that's for me at least. Each case of anxiety can be different. How about you, Nate?
For me personally, I have a lot of panic attacks over very small issues that some would see as almost non-existent. I get really tense, I stop all communication with others, and sometimes I even shake. In those situations, I really hate it when people tell me, "Oh, it's gonna be okay, you're just overreacting." No. Stop. In my mind, it's not like that.
I can't help but agree with you on that. During an anxiety attack for me, I cry and I become basically a shaking mess. It is no fun. I get people telling me the same thing, or it's nothing, you're fine, or practically the worst. It's all in your head, so why worry? These kinds of fears are practically surreal for people with anxiety, so it feels like we're invalid. Luckily, with our help, you viewers at home will be able to understand and learn a few tricks from us.
Before we continue, let me just state that you should not self-diagnose yourself with anxiety. Please, go see a professional. Just because you freak out and get nervous does not mean you have anxiety. It could mean something completely different.
Like Nate said, diagnosing yourself isn't okay. If you're feeling more anxious than you normally do see a doctor. With formalities aside, shall we start talking about what an anxiety attack is?
Heck yeah! Just keep in mind, all anxiety attacks can be different.
Different cases or triggers can cause these to happen.
For my anxiety attacks, they are usually triggered by loud noises, people yelling, not just at me, like any yelling at all, seeing a photo of a particular kind of face structure, or hearing a voice that sounds familiar to someone I know. Now, for a few of my triggers, they are mostly caused by my PTSD, but that is one of the main causes of my anxiety. What about you, Pega?
I have similar triggers as well. It's bizarrely more specific than most, but due to PTSD as well. For me, it's yelling and too loud of items hitting one another. What also can cause an anxiety attack for me is being overwhelmed by something. Those are what causes them usually. Again, it ain't fun living with this.
For people living with anxiety, anything could trigger an attack. You never really know. So, if someone tells you that they have anxiety and are willing to open up about what triggers them, please don't take their words lightly. Anxiety attacks aren't a joke.
Sometimes, even can be deadly. As my audience may know, I am trans. And I stopped wearing binders altogether due to the increasing danger of my anxiety attacks. I don't know about you, Nate, but I black out, which is why I have an ESA, or emotional support animal.
Anyway, let's talk about ways for you to help others or yourself in the middle of an attack.
Communication is pretty important during this time. Make sure you ask the right questions the right way. For example, if someone is panicking and you want to hold their hand, simply ask, "May I hold your hand?" It may assure that person that you are here for support. I say may because different things help different people during those times.
Even though communication is important, that also means to ask the person if they need help first. Some people don't feel comfortable when others try to help in these situations. Just ask if they need help and don't automatically force your help onto them. It may make their attack worse.
Exactly. Communication is important, but so is consent. When someone says no during these times, don't get upset when they turn down your help. It'll make you look like a total asshole, and definitely do not scold them for denying your help. That goes along with making it worse.
If they do ask or consent to help, make sure they are in a comfortable setting. If you are in public, move them to a quiet area, say a restaurant or a store nearby. If you are in a home, move them away from the situation, or even better, move the situation away from them. For example, if the person is on their phone and something on their phone causes the attack, remove their phone from the situation by putting it somewhere where they are not able to worry about it. Just make sure it is in reach in case of an emergency.
Pretty much. It's important for the person having the attack, may it be you or your loved one, to have at least what I have, an escape plan. It's basically, if I'm feeling extremely close to an anxiety attack, I just get up and find a quiet place and let it pass. Sometimes calming someone having an attack isn't easy, and letting it pass is sadly one of the only ways for them that it can be done. But assure them that their anxiety attack will pass and continue supporting even if the physical help is consented or not. Sometimes letting them be alone is helping even if it feels wrong.
Some people even have items to calm them down. I like to call those EIs, or emergency items. Pretty simple name, I know. EIs can range from a pillow to a stuffed animal, and even a picture of a loved one. The item usually is always in reach of the person, so they can use it as needed. For me, I have a picture of my partner that I look at. It helps to remind me that there is always someone to help me and to love me when I need it the most. Just don't carry it around everywhere with you. Then, the IE becomes a crutch.
And I think that moves us to our next topic, the self-care, or EI as you call it. Usually people with anxiety have something that helps with their said anxiety. Like you said, Nate, it's a photo of your partner. For me, it's my ESA and even medication, just to balance things out. Sometimes people with anxiety exercise, some people do yoga, some cook, and hell, some even play music. Everyone has that one thing that helps them function. Not everyone needs medication, I will admit that. But hell, some people don't even need ESAs.
Eating right can also have a good impact on people who have anxiety attacks. Eating healthy may not have been linked to better thinking and less attacks, but it can improve how you feel during an attack. I used to eat a lot of junk food when I had attacks and went through the depression shock I had afterwards. But after I changed my food intake in my normal life, meaning eating less junk food outside of my attacks, I noticed that my want to eat during an attack to calm me down went down. I'm not saying this works for everyone, but it does help for some.
Exactly. I had to cut coffee out of my diet because caffeine apparently is infamous for raising anxiety. I quit caffeines and started my meds about the same time, so it was a rocky 3 days. You may not get instant results, but over time you will feel better. Will this get rid of your anxiety entirely? I hate to say it, but in most cases it's a no. But giving yourself the self-care that you need to recover is still equally as important.
Now, let's talk about some myths and stereotypes that some people associate with people who have anxiety. I will list some myths, and Pega here will list off some stereotypes. Take it away, Pega.
Well, the stereotypes people will assume that when it comes to employment, for example, people think those with anxiety will try to get out of work early, using their disability as an excuse. But that's on the contrary. Other people I know with the same type of anxiety as me are the hardest working human beings on the planet. And they think we can't hold our own and always need a helping hand. Though we appreciate the help and sometimes it may be needed more than others, we can hold our own heads up quite well. Then there's people who think anxiety is a form of attention seeking. Yes, sadly there are attention seekers out there, however people with anxiety don't usually speak out. Rarely do, unless they are comfortable with their anxiety and speaking out or finding a hidden platform such as YouTube, DVR, or even Discord. They can talk to people they trust. But because they normally fear that they be attacked for simply having anxiety, they hide themselves, never talking to anyone about their anxiety. Finally, that annoys me the most, that people assume that it's normal or even act as if we are broken. I hate to say it, but yes, for us, feeling normal is the anxiety we feel if we have no resources to help, or even one. We try to adapt to what is normal feeling as it is. My ESA and my meds help me feel normal. Nate's photo helps him act what would be normal. And we aren't defective. Our brains are normally thinking in the emotional center of our brains, causing this anxiety. It's normally caused by emotional or physical trauma. People who invalidates this notion and act as if we are broken is insane. Yes, our form is normal isn't the same, but we all want the same end goal, and that is to function without thinking on our emotional center. To others, they think that that is broken, but it's not. Even if something is brand new, people will tinker with it. Even a car that runs fine needs a tune-up. That's all what people with anxiety needs, is a tune-up.
Now time for some myths. Number 1, the rubber band trick. Snapping a rubber band on your wrist every time you have a bad thought. Not only can you hurt yourself while doing this method, putting it under the category of self-harm, but suppressing bad thoughts makes them stronger. It keeps them packaged away for a little while, then BAM! They come back bigger and worse than they were before. Number 2, avoid stressful situations. If you have anxiety, you should avoid anything that stresses you out. No, don't do that. If we do that, we're treating ourselves like we're glass. Super fragile. We don't always crack under pressure. Sometimes stressing out means we're putting more effort into a job that we're doing. It's not always bad to be stressed. Number 3, medications for anxiety are addictive or are the only treatment. This one is self-explanatory. First of all, antidepressants are not addictive if they are SSRIs or SNRIs. Short-term drugs such as benzodiazepine could cause an addiction, however. And 2, no, meds aren't the only treatment. People find different treatments to help them, from therapy to exercise. Finally, number 4, use a paper bag. You know, just in case you hyperventilate. Using a paper bag and carrying one everywhere you go is basically a crutch that actually isn't needed. Hyperventilation can cause heart attacks in people who already have heart disease, but other than that, the most it can do is make you dizzy. So there's no need to carry around something silly like a brown paper bag.
That's basically everything about anxiety. Have any final words?
If someone comes to you and they are open about their anxiety, listen. And maybe even educate yourself on the matter. It never hurts to do your research.
Pretty much. Don't be an asshole, guys. Thank you, Nate, for being on my itty bitty channel.
Shh. No. Thank you, my dude.
No, you.
No. Don't start with me. I will wreck your shit.
Thank you for watching this video, and thank you, NateDoodles, for joining in this video. It was a lot of fun writing out this script with you. And the intro was created by Feghost. Go check out his channel. And go check out my Redbubble. I still have a bunch of stuff. Link will be in description below. And this was Peggy Gamer, signing out.